You ever look at something, a price tag, and you say, damn, that's expensive? Well, that's what everyone should be thinking when it comes to woke ideology and progressive programs. Let's get into this quickly, looking at today's news to prove that point. Welcome to The Retired Banker. I am James, the Retired Banker. Let's get into the first thing I want to cover. And it's how these young people going to college and whining, oh, I got a degree, but I can't get a job. The patriarchy is so unfair. Well, you've been sold a bill of goods that do not serve you well. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to some of these young people. Check this out. The stigma of dirty fossil fuels drives young people away from lucrative careers. Where are those lucrative careers? They're not in like all the woke things. It's not in gender studies. It's in the dirty fossil fuel industry, like oil and gas work. Petroleum engineering is the highest paying bachelor's degree in the United States. But despite an average annual salary of almost $100,000, oil companies are struggling to fill those positions. The highest paying bachelor's degree is petroleum engineering. $97,500 is the average salary, and they can't fill those jobs. The industry faces a number of challenges. Young people today are also concerned about working in an industry that they're taught is destroying the planet. Some of the respondents on the latest Dallas Fed Energy Survey remarked on the labor shortages in the industry. Labor is hard to find. Dirty fossil fuel stigma drives younger talent away. Wow. Dirty job celebrity, producer, author, podcaster, and skilled trades advocate Mike Rowe said that the stigma is a problem across industries. You've got stigmas, stereotypes, myths, and misperceptions that have really coalesced, in my view, over the last couple of decades in a way that coincides ironically, or maybe not ironically, and maybe just practically, with the removal of shop class for high schools. Now, this is a big problem. For instance, in California, I went to school in New York City and then moved to California right before junior high. And I remember there was metal shop, wood shop, auto shop. There was a glass class. I don't know if there was its own class, but remember there was like this glass blowing class or something where they were doing things. Ceramics. They don't have that anymore because they've been trying to teach our children that going to get a 4-year degree, even if it's in gender studies and the comparative literature of the alphabet Q plus community history, is worth $125,000 debt, where they come out with no usable skills. And then a usable skill like petroleum engineering, how many bachelor's degrees can you come out with and your average salary is $100,000? Now let's put this in perspective. Here are the worst paying college majors according to a college prep site as of a few years ago. Liberal arts starts off at $35,000. Along with the median salary, $35,000 for liberal arts, psychology, performing arts, leisure, and hospitality. Then general social sciences is below that, social services below that, theology and religion below that, early childhood education, anthropology, and family and consumer sciences. Absolutely useless degrees. The lowest value majors are, according to this, anthropology, mass media, fine arts, and English language. So, are you doomed if you chose one of the worst majors? Well, you're not going to make the $97,000 that you could make if you had a petroleum engineering degree. The message came down over the decades of young people that a 4-year degree was a path to success and trades were the dead-end career choice. That message was pervasive and powerful. It came from guidance counselors. It came from elected officials. It came from Hollywood. It came from Madison Avenue. It came from well-intended parents who just want their kids to have the best possible shot. Okay, you get the point. How about this? How expensive is the open border? Well, for just Denver, it's about $136 million. Denver Health at critical point as migrant influx contributes to more than $130 million in uncompensated care. Whoa. You mean free healthcare isn't free? Who would have thought? Amazing. Let's get into some of these details. In 2023, Denver Health provided about $136 million in care that it didn't receive compensation for, is according to the CEO, Donna Lynn. Denver Health CEO Donna Lynn told the Post that in 2023, about 8,000 border crossers and illegal aliens living in Denver made some 20,000 visits to the hospital system, costing local taxpayers millions in unpaid medical bills. Lynn said illegal immigration to Denver is going to break the city's hospital system. Whoa, let's look at these numbers. 8,000 border crossers made some 20,000 visits. 8 times 2 is 16, which leaves 4 left over. 4,000 is half of 8,000. 2.5 times each border crosser on average had 2.5 visits to the hospital. Okay, what diseases are they coming in with that could possibly be more injurious to the people of Denver? And how many of you have gone to the hospital 2.5 times in the last 3 years? Okay, now we know that illegal aliens use the hospital system as what you would go to urgent care for or make an appointment to your doctor for. So let me broaden that. How many of you have been to the doctor 3 times in the last 3 years? And these aren't well visits, okay? So let's take out any well visit, any annual visit you may have. For instance, my insurance plan, which is horrible thanks to Obamacare. Obamacare started that, and it's just gotten more expensive with less coverage. But my plan does have a wellness visit, I think every 10 months. Let's say once a year. But let's just take that out. How many non-well visits did you have in the last 3 years? Was it 2.5 or 3? See, when something is perceived as free, it's abused. When you have to pay for it, you think about it a little bit better. And it is costing Denver $136 million. I'm telling you, progressivism sure is expensive. But who does it benefit? Who does it benefit? It benefits big business. There's a battle right now going on in the Senate between President Joe Biden and Republicans mostly, and some Democrats, as they're trying to work through a deal. And one of the sticky points that they have not broken through is the parole migration program that is being abused by Joseph Biden and Mayorkas. It's being abused, but it is a windfall. It's a boon to big business. Check this out. Joe Biden's deputies pulled at least 1.6 million economic migrants into the United States via the little-known parole emergency doorway in the nation's border law. The same parole doorway was only used 34,321 times during the 6 years from 2014 to 2019. The data shows that Biden's deputies paroled 235 migrants for every parolee released by President Barack Obama and Donald Trump. But here's where it's expensive, but of course, this is good news for the billionaire class. Biden's parole is a bonanza for migrants and their U.S. employers. They can stay for 2 years or more, receive an identification number that allows them to get driver's licenses and other documents, or put on a 5-year track for government aid and quickly get a work permit that helps them send remittance to families at home or to pay smugglers to bring the families to the United States. The parole issue is reportedly one of the final issues dividing Republican and Democrat negotiators in the closed-door border talks. I don't think we have any sticking points left, Biden told reporters, but this obscure sticking point is critical in immigration politics because parole is the center of Biden's little recognized effort to build a Canada-like low productivity, low wage labor supply for U.S. investors and CEOs. Do you understand this is expensive? The big business CEOs, what they do is they make profits. There's lots of names for it. Corporate. I would think this falls under the idea of corporate welfare. They want to privatize they privatize their profits, but they make it a public burden for those profits. In other words, they have this low labor pool that they pay very little relatively to American citizen wage earners. They pay them a lower wage. Those people are not making a living wage, so we the taxpayers have to support them with these government programs so that these big business people can make higher profits. So we've looked at just 3 things here quickly, folks. Our children are being sold a bill of goods and not getting degrees in things that are lucrative because of woke ideology. We're looking at the crashing of the healthcare system in many places. California just guaranteed illegal aliens can get free healthcare, even though the state of California is like $68 billion in the hole. And then we're all on the hook to have these low-wage workers come in on these visas, stiff American workers for these jobs, but they get to be on government assistance because they don't make enough money to live here. Well, there we go, folks. 3 examples of, wow, woke ideology and the progressive agenda sure is expensive. It's bloody expensive. It is very damn expensive.